Sometimes the demo is the only version of a game that you should play. Demos are fantastic. Free time to test a game before you make a purchasing decision, right? With a never-ending avalanche of mobile ports coming to Steam now, I try to avoid all of these. Something interesting happened when I decided to go against my common practice. Ant Colony Wild Forest caught my eye. A anthill simulator with management mechanics. You get to balance income, defense and attack using different ants that you breed yourself. The game is played in separate stages where you gain stars to indicate your performance. You already know how these work. Most missions include a few simple tasks to complete, creating units, upgrading units and much more. This game will be a one-time purchase price, as far as I understand from the developer, without any microtransactions, so that's a good step in the right direction if you're gonna make a port at least over to PC. But we'll see how balancing and things like that looks like. Hopefully a demo can give us a decent understanding of that part of the game as well. I played the whole demo myself and will now proceed to show you why you might be willing to do so as well. The main task for all of the missions in the demo is the same. You kill all the enemies and you move on to the next map. The tutorial teaches us to breed new ants, dig out tiles underground to increase our area for construction. The anthill construction will be very familiar to you if you have played anything like the Empires of the Undergrowth before. Another great story-driven experience with an anthill construction project. Great story, and more importantly, it's already released, complete, ready for you to play. So go play that if you want to actually spend money on a game. If you want to play a free demo, you have 2 hours of fun right here. With the barracks built, we are able to breed attackers. These buggers are not able to collect food, but can be sent out to raid other enemy bases. I am told to attack one of the bases. Army is marching and makes quick work out of the ladybug hideout. As a reward we get a few cards and some sugar. A common queen we can use for future stages. Sugar is used for upgrading said cards. Shortly after that, the second base falls and we are completed with the tutorial. In between rounds we get to select the cards we would like to use in the next level. The rare queen increases the size of our deck by 1. I said deck, Brian. Calm down. I'm not selling you anything. Extra deck space means that we can bring the new defender for our next mission. The next stage brings us to the forest. We have 2 tasks here. Destroy every enemy base, as well as creating 20 total ants. We start out with some loaders to bring in resources and adding some adventurers. These will make sure that the map will gradually be explored to locate the enemy bases. First 2 bases are almost instantly found. So the adventurers will be responsible to find the last one. The rest of the map is the tutorial without guidance. Kinda lying here. We are introduced to 2 new mechanics in this level. Firstly, attacks on our anthill is happening. The ladybugs will seemingly randomly wander towards our base to attack our queen. Ladybugs are still weak and stand no real chance. During later levels we will have to add some defenders to keep our loaders from having to fight the ladybugs themselves and also taking on the attrition from said fights. Secondly, we are given our first perk, small bonuses that you can apply to your colony or your ants. This one gives newly hatched loaders 5 stronger bites when biting food. Increasing loader productivity is always a good thing. And before you know it, we have finished our first task, 20 total ants hatched. Why is that so hard to say? 20 total ants hatched. I don't know. It's weird to me. There's a lot of S's in there. Guess I'm lisping if I have to do that. Only the enemy base is left nonetheless. But before that, we are seeing a larger ladybug raiding coming. Looks like 3 or 4 ladybugs this time. The game is giving us a warning icon as well, so we're going to need to defend ourselves. We have ants for that. One benefit with them making it all the way into our anthill means that we have much shorter walk to bring the loot that they drop. Down to counterattack. Only 2 attackers available, but we should be able to bring one of these ladybug nests down. And the second base follows the first. I'm officially more powerful than a ladybug. Here is a hint what the final base will be. All of our adventurers have died by now, so we're working our way back to increasing our expeditionary abilities. If you still had doubt, this is a mobile port. Here you go. Loot bugs you'll have to click for resources and small bonuses. No ads or microtransactions in the demo, however, so I don't mind the extra resources. Or hatching some extra loader ants, I guess. Soon enough, our scouts report back with the location of the beehive. Time to be a menace for the local fauna. 10 ants is wildly overkill. Both the queen and the hive goes down in literal seconds. Some rewards later and we're back to the level select. Next quest, attack solid food and change scouting priority. Both new mechanics will be introduced to. We are also introduced to opening bonuses. Each level seems to provide one bonus card when starting the level. I think I got 2 of these on some later levels as well. You know me, Keanomy is core of any management simulators, so loader is a easy selection. Scouting priority allows you to decide what scouts should prioritize. Big woo there. This together with the level of the adventurer ants allows you to improve their efficiency. Something that is not mentioned here is, I think it's true at least, the loaders will actually look for food in the direction where the scouts is exploring. So if you mark a top right hand corner, for example, that's both where the explorers will be exploring or the adventurers will be exploring, but also where the loaders will actually start looking for resources in the first place. So it serves kinda 2 purposes to my experience. These perks are permanent between levels, but needs to be applied in between each level as well. So initially this felt kinda repetitive. Why do I have to do this over and over again? But once I understood that in later levels you will be replacing these perks throughout your playthrough of the said level, it makes a lot more sense. Once we have some attackers, we can also send these out to break open solid food. These will be different items for every map. This map has them as chestnuts. We will see pineapples and all kinds of different things. Unless the food is located next to a base, there is no real dangers to running these raids with only 1 ant. And just like real ants in real life, these are hard to tell apart. But the defender ants are significantly stronger in combat and is able to defend against these bees quite easily. That friend is just for good measures. Continuing to expand underground brings us a larger queue for the queen to hatch. We are also working on an army that will probably rival the United States Navy at this point. I'm sure that's needed for level 3 of the game. Gotta say, seeing this big army sitting around like this, just wiggling, it's pretty cute. I'm sure the bees agrees. Final battle also isn't that big of an issue. 10 ants in a raid makes short work out of both the base and the flying friend protecting it. With the 3rd level complete, we can check out the new queen we unlocked. She is unable to store food in her room, but can store extra hatchlings instead, giving us a taste of the different mechanics for the queens. We are also able to upgrade cards when we have received multiple copies of these. 3 common loaders, for example, allows us to upgrade to an uncommon loader instead. This costs sugar, the premium currency from the mobile game. Hopefully the balancing is reasonable, but we'll see with the full release. For the next level, we start with loaders again. The queen starts with 2 tiles of food storage, replacing the 2 of queen tiles we had with the previous queen. That sounds really weird. We had 6 before, we have 4 now, and we have 2 food storages instead. I'm sure you can see it easier on the screen, just look at the screen. Not having food directly next to the queen does require more builders to feed the queen due to the extra distance to travel. There is depth to the gameplay mechanics, and with a little bit of luck, I think this might be the way to actually depict said depth. Because in the mobile game, this would all be just obscured with some microtransaction bullshit, right? We're going for early defenders this time, hoping that 4 defenders can prevent any loader losses in the early game. We don't really know how strong these hermit crabs are yet, so better safe than sorry, I guess. This map has pineapples as the solid food, by the way. The level contains of 3 different enemies. We have the hermit crabs, these normal crabs, as well as the spiders. There's a nice selection of enemies available in the demo at least. Hermits are no match for our warrior ants. Crabs are stronger, making short work of our 8-party raid instead. With more attackers needed, this might be the last thing you would like to see. The enemy you just had your ass handed back to is now right next to you, Queen. Luckily, 1,000 ants is more than both an elephant and a crab. I got no chill. We're raiding the spiders. 8 ants got killed by the crabs. Let's see how spiders do in comparison. Seems we fare a bit better against the spiders, taking down the base with our 8 ants alone. Crabs are scary. But are they 17 ants kinda scary? No, they're not. Next map gives us 2 starter boosts. We take loaders and loaders. I see an opportunity to build up my economy and I just can't help myself. It's like heroin for me. This level introduces us to Chitin. How do you pronounce that? Chitin. For now, we can only store the resource, but later we will be able to perform upgrades using this workshop. The upgrades are linear and mostly pretty boring, honestly. I mentioned the Empire of Undergrowth before. In that game you get to select different upgrades as well, completely changing the unit's mechanics. These are just flat statistical increases. It's really boring. Remember those crabs we struggled with in the last level? This brings a bigger, meaner crab. Looks like fun. I think Chitin is dropped from killing enemies, so time to raid hermit crab bases around the area for upgrade materials. In the meantime, the big crab makes a move. He's making short work of my defenders, to be honest, but doesn't actually enter the until for some reason. Counter-attacking is an option, and apparently he's not that strong after all. We destroy his home and everything he loved. I'll teach him. Only 3 bases left. Hermit crabs at this point doesn't pose a threat, even in larger numbers. And with that, we only have the final level left. This game feels like a management version of Polybridge, and could probably serve the same crowd. A casual take on the colony management sim genre, with fun, bite-sized levels. Levels you can complete on a handheld device while on the bus, or with the few minutes you have free after work each day. If you play like clicker games and idle games regularly, this demo might be worth playing. With a bit more active playstyle, it is an engaging but short experience. The demo can be seen as a 1 to 2 hours of fun. I'm just so sick and tired of the microtransaction sphere we're currently living in. Even though the developer has informed that there will be no microtransactions in the game, what's interesting is that all of these demos that are now coming out, they're actually better because of it. Because these developers, they are building games that are... I'm kinda struggling saying games. They don't feel like games. But they're building games that are initially very interesting and fun to play. And then they release the beginning of the game, meaning that most demos from mobile ports is just a concentration of the best parts of their game. It's an interesting thought experience. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you would like to see more of this kind of stuff, click that subscribe button. If you wanna help me out, click the like button. If you wanna leave a comment down below, that is also appreciated. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye everyone.